We back. Happy Friday, everybody. It's your boy Ruck in the building here with Straight Up Tennessee, man. It's going to be a great show today. As you see in the title, early season predictions. What do we want to see? What do we hope to see? But also, we're going to talk a little bit about the 2024 schedule. We're going to go from top to bottom, UTC to Vanderbilt. What do we believe the Tennessee record will be in the end of November leading into December? And will Tennessee be in the college football playoff? I can't wait to get this thing rolling. You already know what it is, man. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to Chop It Up Friday. Let's go.
First play, second quarter, touchdown Tennessee. That throw's intercepted. Pierce down the sideline. Touchdown.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee today on this Friday, man. Wherever you are watching, thank you. Wherever you're listening as well, thank you so much for the love and the support. You already know it's your boy Ruck in the building here, man. I'm excited for today's show. But before we move any further, man, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification right now so you never miss an episode. I told y'all, man, we are not only climbing to 1,000 subscribers, we are going to hit 1K subscribers. Shoot, hopefully we hit it before the season starts. If not, I promise you we will hit 1K subs when this season ends. And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit the share button, man. That is the way that we're going to continue to build traction, build momentum, and honestly build this Straight Up Tennessee family, man. I hope everybody out there is doing great on this Friday. Whatever you're doing today, working, relaxing, you may have a day off, whatever it is, man. I hope that you have a great day. Hope that you're chilling. Hope that it's stress-free. And that at the end of the day, man, you know that we are only 7 Saturdays away from Tennessee football. And I'm excited for this year, man. It's been a lot of things that have come up. There's been a lot of hype already. NCAA college football video game comes out next week, literally I think it starts to download on Saturday, July 13th. And some people will be able to play the 15th, some the 16th, and then obviously the game releases on the 19th. So I can't wait. I'm going to be locked in, tapped in all next week. That thing is pre-ordered, so I am ready for it. But, man, today's show is going to be good. I'm excited for it. Been planning this one for some time, man. Early season predictions. What we're going to talk about, man, to line this thing up is what do we think the season will look like early? Who are the big hype people? Who are we excited to see? Who are we predicting to be the unsung hero is what we like to call it. Who's the guy that's going to step up when we didn't even think that this would be the guy, but who is that guy going to be, offensive side and defensive side? We'll go through the entire schedule from UTC to Vanderbilt, and we'll pick them. I'm going to pick them today, and I'm very nervous about that because I haven't really thought about it too much, but this I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Anyways, and then once we do that, we will finalize the show, talk a little bit, obviously, about the NCAA football game, some of the things that have dropped since Monday's live show. So let's get this thing started, man, with the general consensus of our early season predictions. Like, what do we think can happen this year for the Vols? What are we expecting? You know, I'm still very cautiously optimistic, like my boy Dylan said on Monday, about the Nico Iamaleava hype. We know that Nico is a great football player. We know that Nico was a consensus 5-star in all platforms. And we also know that everyone knows, media, scouts, they know that this kid can play the game. He understands the ins and outs. He understands defenses. He knows how to make smart reads. He's not going to force the football. We know these things. But the one thing we don't know is, what does he look like game to game, week to week, getting hit weekly? And then what does he look like against the big teams, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, you name it. What does he look like? We know what he looks like against Iowa, 35-0. And I still don't care what kind of defense y'all want to say they had out there. I don't care. None of it matters to me, because what I saw was a freshman go out, execute at a high level, score 3 rushing touchdowns, and made it look easy. That's what I saw in the Citrus Bowl. But now we fast forward to 2024, and this year with this roster and these receivers and these running backs and this offensive line, how much stock do we put into a sophomore in Nico Iamaleava? I'm expecting Tennessee's offense to get back to what it was in 2022. I've said this, I've hinted at this in a lot of shows in the last few weeks. I see way too many similarities in this team and the 2022 team. Everything from the roster to the schedule to how the games are lined up. It's just way too similar for this to be a coincidence, y'all. I think if you look at the rosters, there's a lot of mano for mano, tick for tack, like, hey, he can do that. He can do this. He can do this. Just like, hey, this guy could do this in 22. This guy could do this in 22. And you start to compare and contrast, and they're just too similar to contrast a whole lot of things. I would say the biggest contrast is that Hendon Hooker was a 5th-year senior and Nico Iamaleava is a rising sophomore, right? That's the biggest thing that I have contrasted, but I still don't feel like it's enough to say it's not similar. It is so similar. You got a dog at quarterback. You got great backs. You got wide receivers for days. But even in 2022, Cedric Tillman gets hurt. Ramel Keaton stepped up massively. I'm not hoping any of these receivers get hurt. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is there is so much depth at that position. Dante Thornton, Brew McCoy, Chris Brazzell, Squirrel White, Chaz, Caleb, Mike Matthews. There is a lot of depth at that position to where I don't feel as pressed if someone does go down. But I'm not saying I want someone to go down. So hear me right now. But once we start talking more about the schedule, I'm going to break this down and just go mano for mano, tick for tack, 22-24. What is the same? Defensively, we know that we have the best defensive end in the country in James Pierce. We know that. We know what he brings to the table. We know what he is going to bring to the field. But what happens when James Pierce gets kind of eliminated from a game? They're going to try to double team him. They're going to try to push him out. They're going to try to really wash him out of plays because of his impact. Can the guys around him, Omari Thomas, Elijah Simmons, Joshua Josephs, Omar Norman Lott, Jackson Moy, can these guys make enough of an impact in the interior and around him so that we don't have to worry about, hey, James is getting stopped. James is getting stopped, and no one else is getting to the quarterback. The linebackers, Elijah Herring bounces, obviously, as we see in the offseason, goes to Memphis, I believe. But you get Keenan Peely back, and we have to see Keenan play all season. We don't need Keenan Peely played great for 3 games, and then he gets hurt. Like, we need Keenan all year. Jeremiah Thielander stepped up big in the bowl game, stepped up big in the offseason. He is probably the most improved linebacker from what I'm hearing on campus. I'm hearing a lot of chatter, a lot of talk about him and Arion Carter. Carter played a lot of minutes last year. Jeremiah played a lot of minutes towards the back half of the year. But I think that in order for those guys to stay in that rotation, Thielander and Carter are going to play, but in order for them to stay on the field, I think they're going to have a vocal leader like Keenan to keep them in their slots, in their lanes, make sure that they are understanding what is happening on the field. I'm not sure I trust yet that they are ready to be cut loose by themselves. Elijah Herring did the calls last year when this happened. Aaron Beasley did the calls last year when this happened, when Keenan went down. But now I think we are at a major disadvantage without Keenan on the field because of the youth in that position. My biggest, how should I say this? My biggest excitement is the defensive back room because we truly don't know what we have. Sure, we saw Ricky Gibson play some snaps last year. It wasn't enough for me to say, yeah, Ricky's just, he nasty, he's this, he's that. I don't know. And I'm excited about that. I saw Ricky Gibson make some plays. Now, let me say that. I saw him make an impact. I saw him make some plays, but it wasn't enough time for me to say, oh, yeah, I know what we have here. Andre Turrentine played great in the bowl game. I still don't know what we have in him. Jamon McCoy, he was an All-American freshman corner at Oregon State, but now you're moving into the SEC, bigger guys, faster guys. What's he going to bring to the table? I'm excited to find out. There's so many. Jordan Matthews, does he get clocked? Jordan Thomas, we know he's going to play the star position. This back end has the potential to be one of the most special groups that we've seen back there since, I think about Cam Sutton and Emmanuel Mosley, that crew. They were special, man. And I know Emmanuel Mosley didn't have the greatest career at Tennessee, but when he got to the NFL, everything that we hated him for, he grew and got very, very, very good. And he has established himself as a high-paid corner in the league. Tennessee product, Willie Martinez product. So Willie can get guys to the league, but can we see the development now? I want it now. I want to see these kids, this young group, honestly, make some noise this year, and I think they will. Who, in my opinion, right now, is going to be kind of that dog on the offensive side of the ball? I think a lot of people aren't talking enough about him, and it's kind of weird to me that you're not talking about him. But I really, truly think that Dylan Sampson has the keys, and he has the opportunity to show why he should have been alpha all along. I have a feeling it's going to be like Alvin Kamara when Jalen Hurd got hurt. He's just going to explode because now he knows he's RB1. He's going to run differently. He's going to play differently. He's gotten bigger over the offseason. If you haven't seen any photos, you can tell Dylan Sampson has been in that weight room and he has been eating. I think Dylan Sampson is kind of the breakout guy this year. I know everybody's hype about Nico and Brew coming back and the freshman Mike Matthews. But I think Dylan Sampson is the one we need to keep our eyes peeled and open for. I think he is going to be the most special back in 2024 in the SEC. And I'm saying that, I know that sounds wild, but I truly believe it because I've seen what he has done in limited snaps. Okay? We've seen him in limited snaps. Mind you, in the Citrus Bowl, he was RB1. He had 120 plus. Do you see what he's going to do? That a lot this year. And sure, he had to sit behind Jalen Wright. He had to sit behind some boys. But now it's his turn. And I'm excited to see what Samp does. On the defensive side of the ball, I think for me, the kind of alpha dog, underdog who I think is going to really make some noise is Jeremiah Telander. I think we saw a lot from him in 2023 that gave us reason to be excited. But I think in 2024, he's putting the pieces together, the fundamentals, the development piece that a freshman just, it's hard to speed them up so fast, no matter if they came in January or if they came in the summer. But I think him having a full year in the cycle, a full year in the system, understanding his role, he is going to be very special in 24. I think he's going to have an opportunity to command. I don't think he will be the commander, but I think he's going to have an opportunity to command. I think he's going to have an opportunity to show why he's worthy of his minutes. And so I think Telander on the defensive side, and I believe Dylan Sampson on the offensive side, early season prediction, they're going to be it's their coming out party in 2024. This leads us perfectly, y'all, into the schedule. Man, who I'm so nervous about this, y'all. I haven't thought about it. And so I'm literally about to share this with you now for the very first time, the schedule and talking about what we think. Who do we think is going to show up and show out, like the kids say? Who do we think Tennessee can beat and will beat. I'm trying to share this right now for my YouTube viewers right now on the screen. So check this out. Here we go, right here with the schedule, 2024 schedule right here. So obviously, Tennessee kicks off against UTC. They're in Knoxville, Tennessee, right there in Neyland. That is a glorified scrimmage. Tennessee wins by 50. In my opinion, I think Tennessee wins at least by 40 points. I think the early spread was like 41 and a half. I think they cover that. I think, like I said, I feel like this offense is going to get back to its groove. It's going to get back to the roots of what we have been built on under Josh Heupel. And so, the NC State game is just like the Pittsburgh game in 2022. ACC team, ACC team. You cannot tell me this is not the most similar schedule you have ever seen in your life. But we have to travel again. Week 2, we traveled to Pitt, beat them there. We're going to Charlotte to play in a neutral site, but we know NC State is only a few, maybe an hour from Charlotte. I got the Vols winning. I think it is going to be a Nico show, and he is going to prove to the nation in this game why he should be everything that everyone says he is. And I think that's his coming out party. Vols win. I'm not going to say convincingly because I'm not stupid, but I think Tennessee wins that game. So I got Tennessee beating UTC and NC State. Kent State, that's another W. I'm not worried about that game. Here's when it gets interesting. In 2022, game 4, we play Florida at home, Checker Neyland, great environment, beat Florida. Your first SEC game this year is on the road at a new, what I would say, rival, but you're in a new venue, a new SEC team in the Oklahoma Sooners. You have to go play there at Memorial Stadium. It is, that's a tough game. And I know Oklahoma wasn't very good last year. Jackson Arnold is now the starter. Venables, I think, has figured out his roster. The defense at Oklahoma is always pretty decent. I don't know a lot about Oklahoma this year, but I do know Jackson Arnold is a dog and he can play the position of quarterback. I still think that this opens back up the wound from 2014 and 2015 when Tennessee lost to Oklahoma 2 years straight in tight games. And I think we get to seal the wound with this one. I think Tennessee beats Oklahoma by a touchdown. I think we win by a touchdown. It's going to be a very tough game, but I think we win by a touchdown. And we kind of solidify, hey, this is who Tennessee is going to be in 2024. And we get a well-deserved bye week after that game. And then you get Arkansas at Arkansas. We don't know who Arkansas is going to be. Sam Pittman's still there. They bought Petrino in. Everybody's kind of hype a little bit on Arkansas. A lot of people have Arkansas last in the SEC or second to last behind Vanderbilt. But we don't really know who Arkansas is. And so just based off of history, I'm going to take the Vols against Arkansas 5-0 there leading into that first weekend in October. And then this is when the nitty-gritty gets going. So you get Florida, Bama, bye week, Kentucky, and then Mississippi State. I'm going to take Tennessee against Florida. I'm going to take us right there. I think Tennessee at home against this Florida team. Florida has the hardest schedule in the country. By the time they get to us, we typically play Florida early. So to get Florida game 6 after a bye week, you play Arkansas, but you get a bye week, Arkansas, and then Florida. The fact that you get them so much later in the year, I like Tennessee in this game all over it. I don't care. Like, I like Tennessee because of where it's placed. October, the fall in Knoxville. Oh, bro, it's finna be nuts that night. Then you turn around the next week, you play Alabama at home. No Nick Saban. Man. The last time Alabama came to Neyland Stadium, they lost with Nick Saban. You should have beat Alabama last year, but you choked. Joe Milton we couldn't get it done. This is hard, y'all, because I have to go with history, and we've just not fared well against Bama, and I might regret this by this time, because I already know I'll probably, based off how Tennessee's playing, I might pick us to beat Alabama that week. But as of right now, I'm gonna say Bama steals us in Knoxville, and then we get another bye week there before a Kentucky tail whooping and a Mississippi State tail whooping. I am not worried about either one of those teams. I don't care who they have. Jeff Lebby, I don't care. Who's the cat that transferred from Georgia? Brock, I don't remember. I don't care about Kentucky at all. That we are their father. We are the father. I don't care about Kentucky or Mississippi State. Georgia, I'm going to mark that one up as a L. We got to go to Georgia late November. I just don't like it. I don't like where that game is placed now in the season. We used to play Georgia in Florida early in the year, and now for some reason we play Georgia late. I just don't like it. I don't like it. They've already fine-tuned themselves. I don't like that game at all. So that's our second loss. And then UTEP and Vandy, dubs, period. I think we're winning both of those games by double digits. And Tennessee's 10-2 at that point. Is this enough to get into the playoff? How does everybody else in the country look? I mean, the Big 12, the Big 10 even. I mean, the Big 12 I'm not too worried about, but the Big 10 might have as many teams get in the playoff as we do. I mean, anywhere from Oregon. I mean, we know USC may not be the same with no Caleb Williams, and their defense sucks. Okay, USC's defense is terrible, and it ain't gonna get better in just 1 year. They suck defensively. But Oregon and Washington and Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. What about these teams? UCLA. We don't know about UCLA, but the fact that they moved to a conference, it gives them an opportunity because they're going to be playing some of the best teams. And all you got to do is win a few. All you got to do is beat a few of them. So 10-2 is a record that will get you in the playoff. But will it be enough for the committee? Because again, I feel like the committee is going to have still full say of, hey, who are those 12? Let's say we're 13 or 14, 10-2. How do you pick? How do you pick who gets in? It's got to be strength of schedule. Like, it's got to be quality of win. I don't want the same thing to happen with the top 12 like the top 4 did. There was too many variables and too much favoritism when it came to who that fourth team was. The fact that Alabama got into the playoff last year, it was a favoritism thing to me. And did they deserve it? I don't know. I truly don't know. I truly don't know. And I'm not going to say they necessarily didn't. Down the stretch, man, in the Auburn game might have just sealed the deal for them. The 4th and 31 touchdown. Like, God, that's just. But because their name is Alabama, man, it helped them get in. And so I'm just hoping none of that plays a variable or a factor in getting into the CFP this year and for the next 2 years, really, because it changes again in 26. So what are y'all thoughts, man? Do y'all like my picks? Do you hate my picks? Let me know. Throw it in the comments below. But 10-2 feels right to me. I think we could go 9-3. I think we could go 11-1 as well. I think you can mess around and beat, Alabama. But what we can't do is lose to someone we're not supposed to. And that's what we did in 2022. And that Mississippi State, Kentucky, where that's placed, both of those back-to-back, those are the ones that Tennessee, we cannot choke on. That it's really that simple. We can't choke those games this year. We cannot. So, yeah, man. So let's wrap the show up talking about College Football 25, the video game. If you didn't see, they released the score or the overall ratings for all of the players, and so James Pierce was the 4th best player on the video game at a 95 overall. Some people are like, that's too low. I'm like, that's amazing. Like a 95, like he got the hype. But James Pierce also is nasty. And so I think he got what he deserved. I think he's going to be a very much of an impact player. I can't wait to play this video game, man. I cannot wait to play with Tennessee, start a dynasty. But the Road to Glory details leaked as well. They released those on Thursday. A lot of good things in the Road to Glory that I like. I like the fact that, you can import the player again to Madden, but you also have so many things, variables that will affect how you get on the field. It's not just practice and do this anymore. Like, are you passing? You got to have a 2.0 or more to be eligible to play. So you have to pick what you want to do with your time. You want to do an NIL event and make some money, or do you want to go study for a test? And are you going to pass the test? And all of the things that they put in here, it makes the game realistic. And I know a lot of people are like, I hate that, man. I just want to play. I just want to play. But we've waited for this game for literally 12 years. Okay. Like, it's been a long time. Like, I say 12 years, it's been 11. 2013 is when NCAA 14 came out. It's now 2024. It's been 11 years. They are trying to make this game so detailed and so realistic that we just stay locked in as long as possible. Start multiple Road to Glory. Start multiple dynasties. Like, they're trying to make this game to where we are not bored with it come December because we've just played it so much. And the way that they're doing that is by adding things like recruiting, the way you recruit, sliding into the DMs, NIL, transfer portal. Everything is there for us to truly experience the life of what the nature of college football right now. That excites me. And so I'm super excited about this game, man. Next week is going to be a movie. Maybe I can do some streams. Maybe I'll do some streams, straight up Tennessee's video game streams, just having fun and playing. Like, that could be dope. I know Boogie Bentley does that over at Talking Vols. And so I don't want to copy him at all because I love their content. I watch it all the time, actually, because they have great content. They have a great show. And I still would love to get on with Boogie, man, and just chop it up about Tennessee. We two guys love this thing, doing similar things with our YouTube. Obviously, he's way further ahead of me, and I just want to learn from him, kind of go under his wing and understand this YouTube game even more. And so, man, if somebody wants to link us, man, that would be amazing. I would love to chop it up with him and see what we can do for the 2024 season together, straight up Tennessee Talking Balls type thing. Feel me? So that would be super dope. But y'all, thank you, man, for tapping in today. Happy Friday again. You already know we'll be back on Monday live, 7:15 Central. Monday show's going to be fire. I'm going to let you know right now. Hopefully we get all the boys back, Marcellus and Turner. It's going to be a fun show. We're going to be talking Monday more specifically on the defensive expectations. We'll also talk about breaking down more of what we want to see on the defensive side of the ball. Tonight we talked about who do I think is going to be the dog, but we're going to go more in depth from the defensive line to the back end. What has to work? What has to work in order for us to get to the 10-2 that I'm thinking we can get to? So we'll be live on Monday, 7:15 Central. Y'all know where to find us right here live on YouTube, man. Apple and Spotify. I love you. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification right now on YouTube. Share this. Share it. Share this thing right now. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Ruck here. I love y'all so much, man. Thank you for what you do and how you support the channel. Again, we'll be live on Monday. And until then, have a great weekend. And we'll see you back live on Monday. You already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you Monday.